Ladies and gentlemen, it's inside the IFL time. Episode 39. You want to check the audio, see if you can hear me. See what's going on in the chat. Inside the IFL. So I see Ramos is in the chat. He says, I am here with a big smiley face. Audio good, gentlemen. Audio good. I know some guys have been having problems with the audio of late. I don't know if it's YouTube, if it's me, it's them personal. I have no clue. And I'm sitting here. What's going on, Mighty? Sitting here dealing with leg cramps like crazy. I have no idea. I'm sitting sound asleep this morning, gentlemen. I go to work. If you guys don't know, my schedule is 10 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. I told the boss I could use a few more bucks. Can I get a few more hours in? He said, sure, come in when you want. I went to work last night at 8 o'clock. Got done at 7. So I come home, get a shower, and basically wait for my kids to go to school so I can see them. I go to bed. At about 11:30 this morning, I wake up screaming like a freaking baby. My legs, front, back, side, inside my legs, my thigh areas, left leg and right leg, completely cramped up to no end. I immediately want to stretch it, and it was just like not doing that because it felt like I was about to pull my muscles in my calf, or not my calf, my hamstring. So I literally had to get on the floor and crawl like a military soldier to the bathroom, and I literally crawled up in clothes and plopped over the side of the tub to jump in the tub with hot water, because I don't know if y'all are like that, but when I sit in hot water, this helps me with the cramps, and I've been drinking a lot of water and a lot of milk. Ramos says something went wrong. I don't know if you can hear. Can you hear me, Ramos? Because that's what matters. We can hear. There's nothing to see except for the logo. But to get to what's going on here with the league, I got several announcements to make. Some big stories to do. So I'm hoping some guys get in here and we can get this thing going, because we're at that step. So while we get to it, we had a good debate. It was a good, fair question of what happens if there's a tie in bidding. Had a lot of discussion with what we should or shouldn't do. And it seemed like some people were in favor of possibly going to the highest bidder in a new rebid, going by the draft order, kind of like worst to first, kind of like how they do things. When you look at the voting, we got 20 votes. And if I remove my votes, which I will right now because they're no longer needed, it ended up 15-3 in favor of we award the player to the team highest on the draft board. And then it says, remember, the draft board order was determined by order of finish and expansion owners' points. Now, Alex Dar, he had the most points in the expansion war, trying to get a team. So he ended up with a team before anyone else, and he had the right to choose, did he want the first pick in the expansion draft, or did he want the first pick in the rookie draft? Those were the options that he was given. Now, he chose to have the first pick in the rookie draft. Now, I had to have this conversation with Ed this morning because Alex has since traded the number 1 overall pick to the Philadelphia Flight in the trade that got him Duncan Northrup. So I said to Ed, do we go by that draft board with the Flight at number 1, or do we still consider the Detroit Hawks as the first slot? And he said, well, if we're going by order of finish, not order of draft picks, yes, the Hawks remain at the top of the board. That was my assumption. So that's what I wanted to go with. So that's what we decided to go with. I don't know what's going on with mobile, too. It seems a lot of people are having problems with mobile. Sorry, guys. Just commenting on Ramos. He's having problems getting the podcast to work well on his mobile. I have to say I did it myself, so I honestly think it's the mobile app. It sucks anymore. I have no clue. But anyway, so if you go by the draft board, this was the order that we're going to go in when it comes to determining the tiebreaker on a bid. It's going to be the Detroit Hawks, New York Cobras, Denver Yeti, Tampa Bay Stallions, Nashville Nightmares, Tokyo Kitsune, Green Bay Grizzlies, Boston Liberty, Chicago Assassins, Philadelphia Flight, San Diego Bulldogs, Atlanta Rhinos, Winnipeg Crusaders, Dallas Wranglers, Baltimore Bulls, Arizona Outlaws. So when we get to the players that were on the board, I'm just going to go right into this so you guys know who's going where and who's what. But before I do that, I will mention these players. Tight end Chad Marceau. Outside linebacker Ryan Mondo. Defensive tackle Ro Brodeen. All these players, these three particular players, will remain free agents, as unfortunately not one team submitted a bid on any of their possible services. So, again, tight end Chad Marceau, outside linebacker Ryan Mondo, defensive tackle Ro Brodeen will remain on the free agent market, and bids for those players can be made after the rookie draft. So we have to wait for the rookie draft for that to take place. So, getting to the list in no particular order, I'm just going to go down the list in the order in which we posted it. And we'll start with wide receiver Evan Muir. The kid is 6'1", 200 pounds. His owned by @Muir on Slack, hasn't been too active. But a winning bid of 3 abilities at a silver tier was submitted and accepted in favor of the Baltimore Bulls. So Evan Muir will be joining the Baltimore Bulls franchise. So he was given a 3 ability silver contract, which ended up being the highest bid for that particular player. So congratulations to TJ and Mighty for getting him added to their team. So moving on, wide receiver Max Mondo, 6'1", 220. This player had 4 bids. He had a bronze bid, and he had 3 bids at silver. The 3 bids at silver all were a tie because they maxed them out at 4 abilities on the silver level. So we had to refer to the draft board. So by referring to the draft board, we ended up finding our winner. So the winner of wide receiver Max Mondo's bidding war in free agency will go to the Detroit Hawks. So Detroit Hawks will end up with Max Mondo on their team, while Evan Muir, as I said, will go to the Bulls. And that was the wide receivers here in free agency. So then, as I said, Marceau did not get a bid, but we did get a bid on tight end Terry Stone Jr. at 6'6", 260 pounds. That's Ghost Dog 47 on Slack. He was given 1 bid, a 4 ability silver contract, so he will be joining the Winnipeg Crusaders. The Winnipeg Crusaders with the highest bid on Terry Stone Jr. All right, moving on. Inside linebacker Max Spikes, 6'2", 240. He was given 2 bids. The highest bid ended up being a 4 ability bronze contract in favor of the Nashville Nightmares. So Maurice Spurgeon lands his first ever free agent as an owner and landing inside linebacker Max Spikes. Moving on to the other inside linebacker, John Burns at 6'4", 253. He was given 2 offers. The one was a maxed out 5 ability bronze contract, which ended up getting trumped by a 4 ability gold contract by the Boston Liberty. So the Boston Liberty will be getting John Burns to their roster. I have to admit, John Burns was one of my favorite builds of all the players in free agency. Coverage bonus, leadership, run coverage, strength bonus, wrap-up tackling, and closing speed. Me, personally, I love that kind of build for an inside linebacker. The Liberty will be picking 4 of those abilities, and putting him at the gold tier. So there's Boston again. Remember what they did last year, building gold players at the gold tier. So here they're at it again, this time with an outside linebacker. Inside linebacker, Michael Stonebreaker. He was given 1 offer, and it was a 3 ability silver contract. And again, the Boston Liberty will get the contract of Michael Stonebreaker. So here's the Boston Liberty getting a gold ability contract and a silver ability contract on 2 inside linebackers, clearly letting us all know 3-4, they're going to stick with that or go to the 3-4 defense, which doesn't shock me because Ed Ritter was signed as their defensive coordinator. And if anyone pays attention to Ed, guys, he just loves the 3-4 defense. I personally prefer the 4-3, but he loves his 3-4. All right. Outside linebacker Josh Smith, 6'2", 227. He was given 2 contract offers. And how fitting one of the offers was, indeed, by the Liberty. But the Liberty were outbid by the Green Bay Grizzlies, who will be giving Josh Smith a 5-ability gold contract. That's a 5-ability gold contract to outside linebacker Josh Smith, and he will be going to the Green Bay Grizzlies. Moving on to outside linebacker, Jake McClellan. Jake McClellan was given an offer. He will be getting a 3-ability copper contract. It was the only offer made, and it was by the Baltimore Bulls, who in the bid informed us that they would be moving him to inside linebacker, which is completely within the rules. So Jake McClellan at 6'3", 240 will be joining the Baltimore Bulls in a 3-ability copper contract and will be moving to inside linebacker. So that's the second one for the Bulls. All right, now this player might have been one of the most popular players in all of the free agents. And it was just like, wow, when all the bids came on this player. And it's free safety, Mookie Whitaker at 6'2", 220. His build, coverage bonus, footsteps, ball hawk, helmet high tackle, closing speed, leadership. I can see why somebody would want this particular player on their team. So Mookie Whitaker ended up getting 6 contract offers, and they were all over the place. Bronze, copper, silvers. He did not get a gold offer, but he had plenty of silver contract offers. So as a result of the silver contract offers, we had to look at the abilities, which eliminated one of the offers because it was 3. So we ended up going to the 2 4-ability contract offers, and that told us go look at the draft board. So free safety Mookie Whitaker will be getting a 4-ability silver contract, and he will be joining the Tokyo Kitsune. So unfortunately for the Bulls were tied because they spit on this player as well, but the Bulls didn't get the win because they are down lower on the draft board. So the Tokyo Kitsune lands free safety Mookie Whitaker. So we get to move on to free safety Gary Smith. That's 6'1", 219. Gary Smith will be joining on a 4-ability silver contract the Baltimore Bulls. So the Baltimore Bulls miss out on Mookie Whitaker, but come right back and grab Gary Smith. So either way, they ended up with their free safety. So Mookie Whitaker, again, like he goes to Tokyo Kitsune. Baltimore Bulls land Gary Smith. Now we go on to free safety Isaac Butler, 6'1", 195. Isaac Butler was given 2 contract offers. One was to move him to a corner position on a bronze contract. But per the draft board, because it was a tie in the bid, one team missed out on receiving his contract. So Isaac Butler at free safety will be getting a 5-ability, which is a maxed out contract at the bronze level, and will be joining the Boston Liberty. I'm not shocked. Again, Boston landing another defensive player. So Isaac Butler joins the Boston Liberty, which takes us to our last and final player, kicker/punter Lou Bacon, who was actually given a couple contract offers, and he will end up getting a 3-ability bronze contract, and he will be joining the Winnipeg Crusaders. So congratulations to Matthew Soper in landing him as well. That's the second player Soper landed, because earlier, as I mentioned, he also gets Terry Stone Jr. So do a quick recap on all the free agents. And we'll go down the list in order and tell you where they're going one more time. Wide receiver, Evan Muir will be joining the Baltimore Bulls. Wide receiver Max Mondo will be joining the Detroit Hawks. Tight end Chad Morriso will remain a free agent, and he will be available for contract offers following the rookie draft. Tight end Terry Stone Jr. goes to the Winnipeg Crusaders. Inside linebacker Max Spikes joins the Nashville Nightmares. Inside linebacker John Burns to the Boston Liberty. Inside linebacker Michael Stonebreaker to the Boston Liberty. Outside linebacker Josh Smith to the Green Bay Grizzlies. Outside linebacker Jake McClellan to the Baltimore Bulls. Outside linebacker Ryan Mondo and defensive tackle Roe Brodeen will be on the same category as Chad Morriso entering the free agent after the draft. Free safety Mookie Whitaker goes to the Tokyo Kitsune. Free safety Gary Smith goes to the Baltimore Bulls. Free safety Isaac Butler joins the Boston Liberty. And kicker Lou Bacon joins the Winnipeg Crusaders. So now I will be updating the current roster builds, putting these players in place, updating salary cap, and what have you, and we'll be releasing all that information sometime over the next 24 to 72 hours because I'll be going to work this evening. I'll be putting some of the work on it together tonight before I leave. So I'll be going out the door in about roughly 2 hours. So I'll be putting that together. So each team, if you guys looked at the list, I did post who has what player at which tier. These players will get added to their rosters now that they've won the bids here in free agency. So you know who picked up who, and you can see it on what have you to reference that. So it should be good to go on that. I have now taken 2 USB chips at my house. I have one set up with the Pacific Conference. One is set up with the Atlantic Conference. I'm letting all owners know now, if you want to make a change to your uniform because you might not be happy with something you initially submitted, that's fine. But I want you to get that to me ASAP. We did get one change. When I get the opportunity, I will set my game up and put it online and what have you. But the Baltimore Bulls, they ended up, not the Baltimore Bulls, I'm reading the Baltimore Bulls because I'm putting something together right here. The Tampa Bay Stallions actually have submitted a new build, or not a new build, new uniform code, and they are no longer going to be rocking the purple and the gold. They're going more yellowish, and the gold is, I'm so flustered right now, the purple is being replaced with black. So they're getting a black build with gold more so than the old yellow and what have you. It's actually kind of nice. And like I said, I can do something together with that. So I did get that sent to me the other day, and I was like, I'm completely cool with it, which makes me bring it up now so everybody else knows they have the opportunity to make any changes if they so desire, color changes, anything. Just get it to me ASAP. As of right now, it's just one, Chisholm. He says, how many unis are we allowing? It's honestly just one. I'm one of those people, when I watch the NFL, I just get completely freaking annoyed when every time I turn on a game, a team is wearing a different color. A team is wearing a different uniform. Team has different this, different that, whatever. It drives me insane. I know some guys want to, shall we say, really get into having the opportunity to have multiple uniforms. I'm not against it because this is for fun. It's good to go. But at the same time, it's like building a brand. I kind of like to turn on our games and say, okay, that's who they are. We know who that is, rather than have 107 different uniforms. But it is what it is. It's nothing big. We'll figure it out. Like I said, I'm still trying to get together with Ed, and I'll talk to Davis then. And I personally am a little slow on how to setting it up, not setting it up. So if I can figure it out, I'll figure it out. I'm going to see if I can do this for you. You're going to have to bear with me because, like I said, I'm using the control, a camera as my microphone. So I'm just going to kind of turn the microphone camera on. And then you guys might be able to see the screen. It's really blurry, so you're going to have to bear with it. But there's that new logo for the Stallions. So See if I can clean that up a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of like that. We'll see if we can get in there and do an edit of the team here. Might get to see something of it. There we go. There's the uniforms. So it's the exact same design. The yellow the gold is now yellow, and the purple is gone to black. So it's pretty simple. And I did forget to mention the Cobras also made a small change. Right there's the logo. It's not as green as it used to be. They've actually gone away from the old color. And now I'll show you the uniform here. There, see, it's more Miami Dolphin-esque, which does not surprise me because that is Taco's favorite team. Last year it was more of a darker green. So those are like the real two small uniform changes I've gotten so far. So, yeah. It is what it is. I see Davis is asking about free agencies. I can just give you one more quick rundown on them, Davis, since you didn't catch it. I'll go over them real quick one more time before I get into the other news that I got to drop here. Evan Muir's going to the Baltimore Bulls, the wide receiver. Max Mondo is going to the Hawks. Terry Stone's going to the Crusaders. Max Spikes going to the Nightmares. John Burns going to the Liberty. Michael Stonebreaker goes to the Liberty. Josh Smith goes to the Grizzlies. Jake McClellan to the Bulls. Mookie Whitaker to the Kitsune. Gary Smith to the Bulls. Isaac Butler to the Liberty. And Lou Bacon to the Crusaders. And Ro Brodeen, Ryan Mondo, and Chad Marceau remain free agents. Yeah. Who's he? I'm not sure who he means by he. He said he's going to the Bulls, and I wasn't informed about him. There was 14, 15 free agents. Every team. You had the opportunity to submit a bid. And Bulls submitted a bid because Muir was a free agent. It was the free agent cycle. They submitted an offer. He gets a 3-ability silver contract to join the Bulls. So, let me see here. Yeah, Davis, I did get your contract out. Sorry, my daughter had to speak to me. It was a 3-ability copper contract, which was outbid by the 3-ability silver contract of the Bulls. So therefore, the Bulls ended up with his services. Yeah, he just happens to say that in the chat just because I was done saying that. I just happened to look up and yeah. So, nonetheless, let's get to some stuff I'm sure you guys are going to be excited to hear. So, get your books out, get your pens out, get your studying going because you need to look at the rookie board. I'm going to be getting any and all contracts in as much as I can. I'm going to try and do some recruiting for the first time. I've never really done any recruiting for this league since I started it, but I'm actually might be doing it this week to try and get some guys to join, get them involved, get them on here, and get them to become members of this league. So that being stated, the rookie draft board will be updated as often as possible. So owners, you're the ones who need to see this. You're the ones who need to worry about it. If you go to Rookie Apps, that's the page on Slack. That's where all the contracts are being posted. You will see the player's name, his height, his weight, and his position, and the 6 abilities he picked within his contract. If next to the player's name it says at anything, they're a member of Slack. If there's not a name next to him, he is a non-human player that's being generated by myself. Ed, Chris Davis will be helping me do that. And Ramos Lynn has actually helped me put together some players as well. We're putting together some different types of players, some random builds, different things that might be unique. Some people might want to try, just giving us a wide range of things. It is what it is. We're going to create a bunch of guys and put it together. And any of the guys that aren't drafted will enter the free agent market following the rookie draft. And it'll be the same rules we saw today. Highest bid gets the player. Whoever doesn't, we get a tie. We're going to go by the draft board again. Simple as that. So you would assume in the rookie draft, you land the players you need to finish out your build. So here's where we're at. Based on the amount of players that are in the rookie draft and the amount of players that each team needs, I'm currently thinking a 6-round draft is going to be a need. Mondo's a silver, 4-ability silver with the Hawks there, Davis. So 6 rounds is currently where we're set for the draft. Now, be aware this could change, and if it changes, it's going to be more picks, more rounds. It's not going to be lower. We have a 6-round draft penciled in. No ifs, ands, or buts as of right now. Could get bigger. The draft order will be revealed sooner than later. I have it wrote down. The Flight has the number 1 overall pick because of a trade, as I mentioned earlier here in the podcast, made with the Hawks. Kitsune made a trade with the Cobras, which was, with, like I said, that one was with corner CJ Coates being moved. So they go up pillar to post. Yeah, I haven't had the opportunity to get involved with too much with pillar to post because of my job, and that's driving me crazy. I miss what's going on over there. I'm so out of the loop, and that sucks. Guys, if you love wrestling, check out Pillar to Post because Pete Wall is an absolute god, and I love that dude. He puts together a great show, good everything. And they do what we do. They just do it with a wrestling game, and it's phenomenal stuff. Give it a look. I've actually enjoyed watching that more than WWE. So, yeah. But so you got the Kitsune with that second pick, and then the Yeti and the Stallions. And I didn't announce the pick with the Stallions, so I might as well do that now. That's part of the news I need to make. The Tampa Bay Stallions traded their pick away today to the Arizona Outlaws. Yeah, I say that because they won last season and dominated, and now here they are moving up the draft board. The Arizona Outlaws, ladies and gentlemen, now have the 4th overall pick in the first round and will be keeping, because they can't trade it, their compensatory pick in the 3rd round, but have given the Tampa Bay Stallions every single pick they have. So they're giving them their 2nd round pick, their 16th pick in the first round. So I just might as well say that. 16th overall pick in the first round. The 2nd round pick, their 3rd round pick, their 4th round pick, their 5th round pick, their 6th round pick. They gave them all 6 picks for their 4th overall pick, and they're going to keep their compensatory pick in the 3rd round. So now they have 2 picks in the draft, and that's all they need, because when you look at their team build, you will see they are missing 2 copper players. So they needed 2 picks. So why not move up the draft board? So we'll see what the Stallions do with all these picks, because I don't know if they're going to have enough room to use them all, because now they own 736 picks. So we'll see what happens. I did get asked this by Jax Diamond, who owns the Stallions, if he can't use the picks but takes the trade, could those picks kind of sort of be carried over to next season? And I said, well, no, that's kind of really stupid. But I am debating the possibility of saying if he misses out on 2-3 picks, maybe giving him a compensatory pick for next season. So we'll see. I mean, it's not a big deal. We didn't get too much into it. We're going to figure it out. So get your ears on, gentlemen, because this is something you're going to want to hear, which is why I was saying get to the rookie list. Get your studying on, because you got to know what you're doing, because I'm about to drop on you draft date. I have it. We know when the draft is going to be. We know when it's going to take place. Now, I know not everybody's going to be able to do it. I know not everybody's going to be available for it. That happens because we all have lives, and it's not a big deal. So if you can't make the draft and you can't be a part of the rookie draft, I'm going to tell you here and tell you now, and I'll repeat it again several times on Slack. You're going to have to send me your big board or you're going to have to send to me your draft board. And what I'm saying by that is, here's my list of 50 players. Give me the best available guy on my list when it's my pick each round. Done. Or in round 1, here's the players I want. Give me the highest player at this position. Round 2, this position, or whatever it might be. However you would want to do it, you can do it. Unless you can make the draft, then obviously you don't need to worry about it, because that's just the way it's going to go. Checking up with the chats. Davis is saying that they're trying to pull off a Wentz golf type deal by moving up, that being the Outlaws. It's because the Outlaws did not need all the picks anyway. That's right. So why not give them? Exactly. So yeah, makes sense to me. And that's exactly why I said figured, the Outlaws. The Outlaws, I know, contacted everybody in the top 5 to move up, because I was contacted. Is it allowed that I trade all my picks for one? And I said, what the hell are you talking about? And then he told me, and I said, that makes sense. Do what you got to do. I didn't care. So I know he went after the top 5, and Tampa Bay pulled the trigger. It was given to me this morning. Yeah, it was this morning I called it when I came home from work. So it was sent to me sometime yesterday evening while I was at work. I only seen it this morning. So the deal went down yesterday at some point. So nonetheless, here's where we're at. You look at your calendars. I hope you're looking at your calendars. Today is Thursday, October the 5th, which happens to be my wife's birthday. So happy birthday to my wife. I want to give you guys the opportunity to do your studying. I want to give you guys the opportunity to do what you need to do. My best dates for drafting, and for most people, is probably more so on the weekends because we work during the week. Unfortunately for me, I work Saturdays. So Saturdays is out of the question. Draft day will be a Friday. Due to the fact that the draft is going to be at least 6 rounds and or longer, we've decided that the first 3 rounds will take place on Friday and the second 3 rounds will take place on Sunday. So I don't want to do no draft on Friday the 13th. That's just a bad omen. I have no interest in that. So, gentlemen, you have 1 week to get your draft boards together, because Friday, October the 20th will be draft day. That's when the draft will take place. That's when the draft is going down. That's when everything's going to happen. So, October the 20th will be the rookie draft. You will then get to take October the 21st, which is Saturday, to look over what's left on the draft board, figure out any studying you need to do, maybe make any second-round trades to move up for a guy, whatever the case may be, and then we're going to come back on Sunday the 22nd to finish the final 3 and or more rounds, depending on how many draft picks we get. For an exact time, undetermined. It all depends on work schedules with myself and the wife. But it's going to be in the evening, kind of like where we're at now in this time of the day, 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. So if you can't make it, don't worry about it. Congratulations and happy birthday, Boo Weaver. Yes, Boo Weaver is the wife who plays with the Kitsune. So, like I said, hopefully you guys have your boards ready. So we are officially 1 week and a day away from the draft for all rookies. So October the 20th, rounds 1, 2, and 3, and Sunday, October the 22nd, rounds 4, 5, 6, or more if we have them. So you can get your boards together, make trades, move players. Anybody you have on your roster can be traded. It's fine. It's within the rules, but you got to do it. During the draft, players can be traded. I don't care. We want as much realism as possible. So you can trade picks. You can trade future picks if you so desire. But I'm asking, when I say future picks, you kind of stay within the next season. I don't want, here's a trade 4 years from now. No, you can trade next year's round picks and stuff if you so desired in players. And I don't want any future consideration deals. That's just out of craziness. So, again, October the 20th. Rounds 1, 2, and 3, October the 22nd, 4, 5, 6, and more. So, as of October the 22nd, I will now know every team's build. Because here's what you're going to do when you make a draft pick. You're going to say, I want this player at this tier, and here's his abilities. So let's just say there's a player on the build, and his name's Joe Schmo, and you want to draft him at gold, and you want to put these 4 abilities on him. That's your plan. When you send me the bid, or the pick, you say, here's my player that I'm picking. Here's the tier he's going. Here's his abilities. I'll have everything right away. That allows me to take his height and weight that he has submitted, or what we created, go into the editor, create said players now on your roster, because all 16 teams will have most of their players. I say most because somebody might be missing a player or two, which is why we might have a free agency cycle after the draft. But I can begin to build these teams. Then we can get helmets, skin tones, equipment, all those good things in order, that need to be done. All the players from last year, I have all that stuff screenshotted, taken care of. I'm going to put everything back on the guys I used to have from last season, so we don't have to worry about those. It's just worrying about the rookies. And if any players from last season, that's it. Mighty just said, if after the draft the team doesn't have enough players, how do those spots get filled? They will get filled by the remaining players on the draft board, and the 3 free agents that we now know didn't get signed are all going to be a part of the free agent board. You submit a bid on those players, and I'll be opening that up immediately following the end of the draft. Free agency board will open up if I realize people need players. And I'm going to say it now. I am forbidding any team to drop, cut, remove human players for non-human players. That's not what we're about here. You will never see us allow a team to say, here's a human player, and now it's off my team. Give me this non-human player. Because that's, for lack of a better term, bullshit. It's wrong. We will not allow it. Because you can cut players off your team. That's fine. But I'm not going to allow you to cut a human for a non-human. A human for a human, such is the nature of the beast, I guess. Non-human for a human, that'd be preferred. But obviously, if you're going to play this game, you're competitive. You want to win this game. You're competitive. So human Joe Schmo might not have the build you need, but non-human Dingle Dick might. I don't know where I just came up with that name. Wow. So you want to have him on your team. That's okay, because then you're picking the guy. But we're not cutting people that way, because that's just not right. I think it's dirty. I think it's low-down bullshit, and I'm not allowing it, and I think you guys can understand that, and I think most of you will agree with it. So if we need a free agent period, the doors will open up immediately following the draft, and I'm going to leave them open 24 to 72 hours, depending on how long we think we need to finalize all rosters and get them over and get them done. Then all rosters are complete, and then guys are going to have like a week or two to get all the information I'm missing on their players. And the reason why is because I need the month to build the roster files. Because get your calendars out. You're going to want to mark this one down, because this is the biggest announcement of the night. The biggest announcement of the night. And that is the IFL season will begin Friday, December the 1st. Friday, December the 1st will be week 1. I've already talked to Chris Davis about these things. Our plan is to do games on Friday and Saturday nights, kind of along the same theme and the same time frame as we did last season. So that's what that's going to be. Friday and Saturday night games like we planned on doing. We're going to do our best to help each other. I'm hoping by December the 1st, I get everything on my end figured out to where maybe I can upload games, do what I need to do. Because if I can't, I'm going to be running 2 live games Friday, 2 live games on Sunday or Saturday. So as far as the times go, I'm unsure what I'm going to do on that. Davis has his own thing, how he's going to do it. We're going to make an announcement as we get closer when roster files need to be due, or not roster file, playbooks need to be due, and what have you. We will be doing a preseason week as well. 4 teams from the West will play the 4 teams from the North, and the 4 teams in the South will play the 4 teams in the East. As to who's playing who, we'll figure that out as we get closer. And that's what's going to have your official playbook. And then, of course, you'll get to make your changes following the preseason game, just like we did last year. So you get a sampling of your team. Chris says, wow, December the 1st, that fast, LOL. Yeah, it's basically 2 months away. And we're losing 2 weeks so guys can study for the draft. Once the draft's over, I get the next month and a week or whatever to put everything together. And I just got to put it all together, get it done. And I've already begun working on it. As I mentioned on Slack the other day, I've already begun putting the rosters together. I've created the players, not all of them, some of them, that are already on rosters, put their heights, their weights, their equipment from last year, got it all set up, ready to go. And I'm building guys as fast as I can, putting as much information together as I can on it so guys know who's where and who's doing what. And then we're going to take it from there. So, December 1st, like I said, December 2nd are going to be games. Now, I know right away people are going to want to know about the holidays because I didn't want to get away in the way of the holidays. So I'm not going to get in the way of the holidays. So just to give you a quick idea of what the plan is. Week 1 will be the 1st and the 2nd. Week 2 will be the 8th and the 9th. Week 3 will be the 15th and the 16th. And this is all December. We will take off the week of the 22nd and the 23rd. So when we have, which will be week 3 after the 15th and 16th, you do not have to submit your playbook after the 16th until the 2 weeks later, which will be somewhere between the 26th and 28th, which will be after Christmas, because your game will take place on the 29th and the 30th. But I talked to Ed about that, and he was like, no, I don't like that. And I said, you're right, I don't like that either. Let's have them submit a playbook on the 19th to the 21st for games to happen on the 22nd and 23rd. And then we take off Christmas week, which will be the 29th and the 30th. And then we don't have to even worry about being in the way of New Year's. So that's the plan. So week 1 will be the 1st and 2nd. Week 2, the 8th and the 9th. Week 3, the 15th and 16th. Week 4, the 22nd and 23rd. And then we will take the next week off. So when that game ends on the 23rd, your playbook will be due between the 2nd and 4th of December for the games to take place on the 5th and the 6th. So you get that whole week and a half off to be with your friends and family for Christmas and New Year's, and it should interfere with nothing. As far as me and Davis having to do our games, well, that's where we're going to determine when roster files need to be, our playbooks need to be submitted, so there'll be no issues as to why games aren't being done or uploaded or run or whatever. I'll be running mine, no problem. Davis is his own person. He'll have his own schedule to worry about, so that'll be on him to figure out. So that'll be week 4, like I said, then a bye week. Week 5 will be the 5th and 6th. Week 7, 12th and 13th. Then week 8, week 9, week 10, 11, 12, 13. That's right. Week 14 will be March 2nd and 3rd, and then we'll go into the playoffs. So we might take a week off for the 9th and 10th, or we're going to go right into the 9th and 10th, which will be the playoffs. Then we're going to have the conference championships from the 16th and 17th, and then maybe take off the 23rd and 24th, give the teams in the championship going into the Victory Bowl a week to study their opponent, to do a game either the 30th, 31st, or maybe even April 1st, because it ain't going to be no fool's joke on that one. It'll be Victory Bowl 2, and we'll see who's going to get there. But the championship game will be the final weekend of March or the first Sunday of October. Again, it all depends on scheduling for myself, Mr. Davis, getting closer to that day. So now you guys know. I've been asked for weeks when this is, when that is. I wasn't sure. I finally figured it out. So now you know. Draft day, October 20th and 22nd. Start of the season will be December the 1st. So do your studying now. Get your boards ready. If you don't think you're going to make the draft that night, submit something to me, because I'm telling you now, you don't submit something, your picks get forfeited, and you don't get no players that night. You'll just have to find everybody through free agency. And with 16 owners, it's safe to say the better builds will get selected at each position during the draft, because I think we have a bunch of guys who know what the heck they're doing. And it's going to be one hell of a season. And I would not be surprised if somebody makes the playoffs with a losing record, especially out of the East. That division, I think, might be the toughest one of the season. That's 4 of the original 7 owners. They're all in one division together. But we'll see. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. So I'm going to go to the chat room because there's a bunch of you in there. If anybody has any questions, comments, anything, fire it at me now. I'll take a moment to answer anything I might need to answer before we wrap this one up. And then, like I said, we'll take everything to Slack as soon as I get the opportunity to post things. So I'm actually going to go on Slack now and make small announcements while I'm waiting. Don't mind the silence. Typing something up. No questions just yet. I thought maybe this chat room might be firing off with all kinds of questions. I'm shocked. All right, I just made the announcement on the IFL announcement boards about the draft, so guys know. And now I'm going to put the one about the start of the season. And while I wait, I will make this statement. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, myself and Ed Ritter will get back here on Inside the IFL, and we will pretty much go over each current team's build, give our assumption on each team, give us our opinion, thoughts, and what have you. And, as we lead into the draft and who this, we might even get the opportunity to look over the free agent board, what it might look like, look over the draft board, make an opinion who might end up being the hot commodity that the flight could be targeting and what have you. David says you don't really have any questions. Everything's been answered. Mighty says, how will later free agency work? Because we're going to be short some players, the Bulls. I want to look at the Bulls roster right now. Let me see. The Bulls just now, make sure I'm not crazy, make sure Mighty has exactly what I have since that's the discussion. The Bulls just got one guy in Muir, got a second guy in Jake McClellan, which is 2, and also ended up with Gary Smith. So they landed 3 players here tonight in free agency. And if I look at their team, the Bulls team, you give them 3 players. They had 4. That gives them 7 players. They now need 7 players. The draft is going to be at least 6 rounds for sure. So say it stays stuck at 6, that means you will be short 1 player. So what will happen is if you look at the draft applications, what will be is any player who's still on the draft board that never got drafted now enters the free agent market. The Bulls or any team will have the opportunity to submit a bid just like we did the last day for these free agents, their offers. Now, in the case of the Bulls, it's going to be very clear what kind of contract offer you're offering the guys because you're going to have one spot open. We're going to clearly know what tier it is. So if you make it known what players you're targeting, somebody's going to obviously know how to outbid you if they have the spot to do it. So you might want to on the players you're looking at. But just for the sake of argument, if there's, say, a quarterback, which you don't need one, but we're going to use that as an example. You don't have your quarterback, but there's 3 quarterbacks left. You just pick the contract or the player you want, submit the contract offer, just like you did when you ended up with Evan Muir this week. And that's all it is. I mean, it'll be a real simple process, and it just goes to the highest bidder. And if some team needs X player at X position, and because I'll tell you guys now, you will not have to worry about not having enough players available at each position because Ed is a psychotic man, gentlemen. This crazy sumbitch said to me the other day, He wants to create 20 non-human players for the draft board at every position. What? So that's his plan. Whether or not he does it, I don't know. But knowing Ed, he just might. So there's going to be available players at all positions for you to look over, for you to pick. So you're not going to have to worry about it. I want this player. I want that player. Now let's just say you need a free safety, but you like a build on a corner a lot more. It's within the rules to move a corner to a free safety. So you can submit like some teams did today and yesterday. I want to make a bid on such and such, and I want to move him to said position. As long as it's within reason and within logic, it's acceptable. I'm not moving wide receivers to defensive tackles. I mean, it's pretty obvious what changes we won't do. So, it's that simple. Yeah, Matt, you're kind of worried. You guys are going to be worried on things like that as well. Yeah. The big thing you guys got to worry about is paying attention to your salary cap. And I'm going to get all that together for everybody. I'm sure you guys have paid attention to it yourself. At least I would hope so. If you haven't, I don't know what you're doing. But you should know your own salary cap situation. But I'll be putting it together so the league knows everybody's current situation, current cap. So, once this podcast ends, we're going to have a podcast tomorrow, 1 o'clock. And then 2 weeks from tomorrow, we're going to have a draft. We're going to have a second day of a draft a couple days after that first initial night. Then we have the season coming up. And, rules have been set. Changes have been made. Everybody seems to be happy. Everybody seems to be having fun. I got a distinct feeling the Slack board's going to get a lot more active now because I've had many a rookie contact me. Sorry, I haven't been active on Slack. I just don't have nothing to do. I get it. They're not on a team. They're not sure what to do with themselves. But I know you owners, a lot of you are going to want the active ones. So I've told a bunch of these guys, get active. Show them you're around. They want guys who are involved, somebody to have some communication with, to interact with. So send, yourself to your Slack page and talk. Just say, what's up? Alex Darr is an expert at that. He says hi every day just to let you know. I'm here, guys. I'm around. You need me, hit me up. That's all you got to do. Simple. So get your activity up. Let them know you're around. So, but like I said, I didn't think we got too many questions. Nobody's been saying anything. So that being stated, I'll give you 1 more minute to fire anything at me you may need to do. If not, I'm gonna wrap this up. Go get myself ready for work. Get the wife at work. She gets done in an hour, and I'm gonna start building some rosters while I wait to go get her. And don't think I'll be able to do anything much when I return home, but we shall see. But it's gonna be fun, And hopefully I didn't try and push everything too quick and I get everything done in time because it should be no issue because I've been sitting here figuring it out for a couple weeks now, trying to plot everything. And the main reason why we're going to be able to get started sooner than I thought we could is because the owners have done their part to get things to me in a timely fashion, in a timely manner, so we can move this thing along. So kudos to those guys. I appreciate it. So, checking here. Got a message from Alex on Slack. I'm not sure if it had anything to do with the podcast or not. Oh, he asked me, he said thanks to helping him through the process. He was a little confused through free agency. I gave him, tips and pointers on what to do and walked him through it. So no problem, Alex. It's all part of it. You're a rookie owner. I get it. I was there once too. And I had to go to Cam and say, what am I supposed to do? So he had to walk me through it. So I've now enjoyed both ends of the stick. So no more questions, it seems. So, guys, get on Slack. Get it popping. Get it active. I believe everybody should be able to see the rookie apps page. If they can't, oh, well. I thought I made that an open page. Maybe I didn't. But I'm thinking about opening that up to everybody just to create some possible discussion. Because I think it'd be great to see what guys have to say and not have to say who might be the best build on the board. Like at Green Machine. He's on our Slack. It's at Green Machine. He must love the Karate Kid. He submitted an application for Johnny LaRusso, which just has me cracking up at quarterback position. We got Walter Jordan at quarterback, Andrew Woodson at quarterback. I'm never going to say this guy's name right, and I apologize because he's one of the more active recent members we have on Slack, and that's Mahundin Jalaloni 15. I completely butchered that yet again, and he even tried to teach me how to say it, and I still ain't getting it right. He created a quarterback. Mick Morris created at Mick Morris a Jarrett Bradenshaw quarterback. This is a quarterback that's 6'7", 246. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Got Jonathan Williams, who was Matthews' player, so he's got him now off this list. But I'm just going over it. A.J. Cotton, he has a running back known as Booger Lynch. So there's a bunch of players on here that are members of our page that are active, some not so active, some here and there. Like I said, I'm thinking a lot of these guys may become active once they get picked or we get closer to it. So don't be afraid to hit them up on Slack by using this page and tell them, hey, look, I'm looking for really, really active players or whatever the case may be. So it should be cool. Mahmoud. Maurice, you just confused the hell out of me. Mahmoud. Yeah, Mahmoud is, I don't know what the hell I'm saying. Oh, man. Lynch says 6'7", 246, like Paxton and Lynch or Brock Osweiler. Heavier, but yeah. And then Maurice says, yeah, but they're actually good. Jeez, y'all are just brutal. So, all right, gentlemen. You know the draft date. You know the start of the season. You now know the rules. If you still have any questions, just hit me up on Slack. Be stepping away from Slack, though, here momentarily. As I said, I'm going to go get ready for it, and I'm going to get the wife at work. So if you need me, hit me up. We'll go over it. Congratulations to all the teams and owners and whatever and staff members who landed the players they did in free agency. And here we go. Good luck. Good luck, because now it's the time to worry about the draft. If you see a player you really want, move your ass up the draft board somehow. Apparently that's what Arizona did. Apparently that's what Philadelphia did. Apparently that's what Tokyo did. All three of these teams have moved up the draft to go get somebody. So we'll see what they do. Philadelphia, you're technically on the clock. So happy scouting, happy looking, happy, whatever it is you're going to be doing to preparing yourself for this draft. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern, right here on YouTube, right here, the same channel. Ed will be with me that day, tomorrow, because he's going to be involved. We're going to give a quick evaluation of each team and where they currently stand and our thoughts of current builds. So, again, enjoy your evening. Have fun. Be safe. Take care. And the season's almost here. So, till then, I'll catch you ass down the road. Later.